Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7, and I am back with a daily race from last week at Le Mans in Group 2 with the dynamic weather. Now if you do enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I really recommend you watch this video all the way through because I don't think I've ever been involved with a race as chaotic and as crazy as what we're going to witness in this, and this is partly why I love dynamic weather. Now I made a lot of bad mistakes in this race, we're going to show you them, but straight away off the start we lose a position here because I'm not sure what P13 was doing. He just didn't get on the throttle, didn't even accelerate out the corner, and we end up getting a bit of damage and losing a position there down to 15, but it's not that bad really. We just dropped one position and I'm going to have to try and see if we can get back past. So going down the wide route here to try and tuck up the left and then get a better exit off this corner. It sometimes worked for us during the week to get a few positions gained there, but we're going to have to back off here. We can't really go for a position. You can see I'm going down the left, but I'm going to lift early to make sure that we don't get any contact with the two cars in front of us. The GTR is quicker through the faster corners anyway. The Mercedes that I'm in at the moment was quicker on the straight, better for overtaking on the straight. So we get a reasonable run out there, just about avoiding a penalty as we come out the exit. And now we've got the slipstream to maximum. Now we're going to bump draft him on this straight because there's no point trying to overtake that Mercedes when he's got a slipstream, because we will just end up basically dropping back. You need to be following the car. Now I was talking to the chat in the live stream at this point, so I was not really focused, and this is 100% an error on my behalf. I'm bump drafting Maxo and I didn't even realise we were at the end of the straight, and that was 100% my error there, and I knew it straight away, so I decided to wait. You can see I'm not accelerating. I'm just going to wait for Maxo, make sure Maxo gets back ahead of me, and I'm dropped down to last place in this race. So a big error from myself, totally took responsibility of that. We were talking in the chat and yeah, I just wasn't even focused on the track. So bit of a multitask error there, and I apologise to Maxo, he was okay with it, and now we're going to bump draft him again. So we're not going to overtake him, we're just going to give him another bump draft, because after doing that there's no way I'm going to overtake him. We're going to help him as much as possible and make sure we stay behind him. The aim at this stage was to just stay behind him and bump draft him. As long as he doesn't get any penalties, we'll just follow behind and just try and push him as far forward in this race as we can get. Now we're going to skip ahead to the middle part, well, towards the end of lap 1, and we can see that P15 has got a penalty there. He's running a little bit wide. We're not going to go for a move up the inside here because he's got a penalty. There's no point risking an incident. What we'll do is we'll just wait for him to take that penalty, and I'll get myself back up to P15 in this race. So not the greatest start, but you know, looking at the gap, we're 11 seconds behind the leaders. That is quite a long distance in a short 5-lap race to try and gain. So skipping to lap 2 now at the start of it, and we can see Maxo cuts that corner a little bit there possibly. Let's have a little look. Does he pick up a half a second penalty for that as we go through here? And he does. He actually picks up half a second, which is a bit of a shame because I was going to bump draft him, but we'll still try and help him out as much as we can if we get the opportunity on the next straights. But you can see a lot of chaos going in front of us, and as we're here, Cheesy just loses control on the grass, hits me, and then he hits me again, pushes me back into Maxo, and that was not much we could do on that one. Unfortunately, that was Cheesy getting on the grass, and Gran Turismo rewarding us with a 3 second for someone else's mistake there. So thank you for that one, Gran Turismo. You can watch it again. Cheesy's off the track. He spins straight into my car, and then as I'm rejoining, he hits me again, and we get a 3 second for that. I think PD needs to have a little look at the penalty system maybe on that one. Little bit strange, but yeah, it pretty much was one of them races at this stage where you think, right, this is going to be a bad one. It's all going wrong. Nothing's going right. We're now 23 seconds behind P1. Now, in most races, this would be over, but we do have dynamic weather on in this race, so we will not be giving up. You can see, as we're approaching here, we get another half second penalty. That means another half second loss of time on the penalty zone. So by lap 4, we are massively behind. However, look at that on the radar. We've got some dynamic weather coming in. You can see we're 26 seconds there behind the leader, but we have got some weather. Now, at this stage, we can just see a little bit of moisture on the radar. Nothing too extreme. There is some blue parts in there, which mean there is some heavy showers that are going to possibly hit the track. So we're not going to give up at this stage. We've only got a lap and a half to go, but we are a very, very long way behind. However, when it rains, in general on Gran Turismo, all hell breaks loose and chaos pursues. So we will carry on with this one and see what happens. We're in P13. We're right behind P12. We might be able to get P12 on this straight. Let's try and get a good exit off here. So nice and early in second gear, onto that throttle early. And you can see picking up the slipstream, and we're actually on the fastest lap of the race at the moment. So the pace was there. We just had a bit of a terrible start to this race. So get that slipstream, go down the right hand side, and put ourselves up into P12 in this daily race C. Now you can see on the weather radar on the bottom there, you can see there is some very heavy showers looking like they're going to be heading towards the track. It all depends whether they're going to hit, and this is the thing with the radar. It moves so fast you can't really predict what the weather's going to do. I think they need to maybe have a little look at that, how fast it comes in, because it's supposed to be like, each square is supposed to represent like 50 kilometers or something like that, and I've never seen weather move that fast in my life. But you can see it is going to start hitting the track now. You can see we're about to get into some rain now, so you can see that blue bit hitting the track, and yeah, we're going to get a little bit of rain. You can see it on the track now, on the telemetry, on the tyre telemetry. It's a little bit moist, so we are going to start losing lap time. Once the track is a bit moist, you do start losing a little bit of lap time. You're not going to lose massive grip at this stage. All you're going to lose is a slight bit of gain out of the corners and cornering speed. So we're still on a purple sector though, so you can see we're doing okay at this stage. I think the purple sector that we're chasing was done by a GTR, so we will lose that massively in this last sector. However, we managed to do it reasonable there. It could have been a bit faster, but you can see the grip is fading, and as we come into these last few corners before we start the last lap, you'll see that that telemetry on the rain starts going a little bit higher. So you're going to see as we come through here, you can see it's every now and then it's lifting up a little bit on the curbs there, so it is gradually getting a little bit more wet. And you can see we're about to get quite a heavy shower on the track as we managed to set the fastest lap on lap 4. So finally we get one thing right in this race, we get the fastest lap, but we're still 25 seconds behind. And the problem with this is the cars up ahead have hit a drier part of the track, if you know what I'm saying. So when they went through these corners here, it was dry. Now we're going through it and it's nearly on the intermediate line, so we're going to drop back even further. You're going to see, you'll notice as we come through here, it's now definitely verging on intermediate conditions. We've got very little grip. You can see P11 struggling, and you're going to see that delta increase because when they went through these corners, it was obviously dry at this stage of the race. So we're going to go into the right-hander, try and get a good exit. Now we're going to have to be very, very careful on the straights because it is starting to get into full intermediate conditions. And you might have spotted someone pit actually. Someone went in the pits for intermediates and took a risk. And the reason we say it is a risk is because the pit lane loss is massive on Gran Turismo for very short races. And it's why I hope in the future we can get a multiplier for pit lane loss so that you could have like ×2 speed pits, ×3 speed pits. I think it would help increase better racing for better strategy depending on the race length. So if you're doing a like long race, you keep it standard. If you're doing a short race of like this length, you could put it on ×3 so it speeds it up, so instead of 35 seconds or whatever it is to maybe 15 seconds or whatever, something like that. Just basically speed it up to improve strategy and make you really focus on being on the correct tyre at the right time. But you can see at the moment we're still 26 seconds behind. We're in P11. However, it is getting a little bit wet now, and as we go into this braking zone, we are going to be having to be a little bit careful. So you can see I'm going to brake as late as I dare. You can see what I'm doing in these conditions is not putting 100% braking input in, and that's something I really recommend you lot do. Don't just slam on the brakes in these conditions. Gradual inputs in the brakes, and you can see we've gained another position there, back into the top 10 now. And keep an eye on that delta. We're now 21 seconds, 20 seconds. We are gaining. Cars are going off the track left, right and centre, and this is going to be the most crazy situation you're ever going to watch in a sim racing race. It's so funny. When we were live stream, you need to check out the live stream possibly as well, because this was just amazing. So we're up to P8, and look at this in front of us. We have actually got the leader in front. More cars spinning, cars going off the track. We're just about keeping on track, just managed to save that and up into P4. And at this stage we were going crazy on the live stream because we're now verging on a podium. We're in a podium and P1 spins. We're up into the lead, but as soon as we get in the lead and go into 5th gear, aquaplanes, you can see telemetry nearly hitting full wets at that stage. And we're spinning as well, and we're going to go all the way back down. So from last to P1, and now we're going back down to P9 and P10, P11, P12. So craziness from last to P1 back to P12 through just not being, I just got too excited. Maybe should have probably used the mixture a little bit higher on mixture 6 or something just to dull that power. But again, as we're coming back down this straight, there's more chaos kicking off where the track is still really wet, and we're back up to P10. People are obviously getting excited trying to go for the win, being too aggressive on the throttle, and we're going to have a possibility of getting ourselves back up into a podium here. So we're going on the inside, going to brake nice and early here because there'll be a very little grip available on this corner. You can see everyone running wide. we're back up into P5, and as we're coming through here, we've got a car with a 4.5 second penalty, a car with a 3 second penalty, another car there, and another car with a penalty that's just spawned. So we are actually back into the lead. Now we're going to have to again take this very calm, because we've just gone from last to P1, back down to 12, back up to P1, and this race is just craziness. We were 30 seconds behind at one stage nearly, and now we're in the lead of the race. Mixture 2 trying to play this ultra safe. You can see I'm taking it really slow through here. I'm not taking any risks. I'm being so careful on the throttle. I am trying to be cautious. However, look how wet it is on the telemetry, nearly hitting full wets, and as we come through here, just randomly snaps with aquaplaning. Not much we could do in that situation. We were being really gentle. Mixture 2 on the throttle. Maybe we could have got mixture 6 to play it ultra safe, but yeah, absolute craziness. And all the way back down to P12. So we've gone again from P1 to P12. And then as we come through here, all craziness has kicked off again. We're going to go back around the outside, back up to P9. Now watch this. At this moment here, I was thinking, oh my God, P1, we've got it again. We were going to go straight back at it, but watch PD mess up the ghosting and unghost the car straight away when it's not even moving. Brilliant stuff, PD, yet again on the ghosting system. Possibly could have got back in the lead there, but you know what? We didn't care, because this was just so much fun, so much chaoticness. And yeah, we could have been back in the lead there very easily if the ghosting system would have actually been working, because it was ghosted. So we were thinking, right, we're okay. And then it just unghosts the car right in front of us. But yeah, again, as we come back through here, more craziness. Car sliding all over the place. No grip at all on these dry tyres. And P1 is actually the driver that pitted for the intermediate. So he got that strategy right. We're going to go over the line with half a second penalty for running a little bit wide there where there was no grip. And yeah, we end up with a P8. So not really caring where we finish. I just wanted to upload this race because it was brutally fun and chaotic, and possibly one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had on the game. And I think you lot will agree that last lap was brilliant. If you were watching the live stream, the emotions of going from last to P1 to last to P1 to last, and then nearly getting P1 again was just craziness. And yeah, I think it was a unique experience. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with more in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.